Hi, it's Amanda, Urban Farmer. I have you inside right now and I'm going to take around, show you the produce that I've pulled over the last couple of days, talk you through how the garden's doing. So what I just pulled this evening is a couple of zucchini. So I've got those here, and then we got 3 cucumbers that we just pulled out. So you can see sometimes if it starts hitting one of the portion of the stand for the cucumber, starts taking a weird deformed shape, but I know it came from my garden, so I don't really have an issue with that. Then we've got some cherry tomatoes. Look at these guys, they're coming in. Sometimes I pull them and they're not fully red yet. Do that a little bit in advance, they finish ripening inside. Then I also pulled some basil. I'm gonna make some pesto. I'm really excited about that. Pulled a couple of green beans. I'm gonna add those to my collection of green beans that I have going on. Love the green beans. I usually make a fresh green bean casserole for like Thanksgiving and stuff. These are the cherry tomatoes I pulled a couple days ago, and they had looked like those other ones, that they were a little bit orangish. You can see they finished ripening inside, so now they're nice and red. I also have some red potatoes that I pulled out and some russet potatoes. Look at these guys. A few of them are larger, and then we got a handful that are smaller. They were kind of close together, so it makes sense. So I pulled quite a few potatoes this year. All of the red potatoes and most of the russets were actually from scraps from when I did the mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving last year. I peeled them. I took all the scraps and threw them in that section for the potatoes, and you can see what has popped out. I also have over here another cucumber that I pulled 2 days ago, as well as the acorn squash. And then I also have my garlic here. The garlic is what we had pulled back in June. We took it down to the basement to dry, so now it's all up here. I've already used some of it. So we got some nice garlic. A couple of the cloves came in tiny. So what I'm thinking is those might be the ones that we go and we plant in November. I'll take individual cloves of this. What I have left, we plant them in November, so that way I have more coming in next year. I also have over here pickles. So did some dill pickles this weekend. I've got 14 cans of dill pickles. So some of them are the chips, like what you would put on a burger, and then I also have some spears. So I've got 14 of those all ready to go. And let's just take a look over here in my freezer. And what do we have? Here's the other green beans that I pulled so far. You can see I have a very nice amount. Started pulling these in July. So just get a few at a time and put those in my freezer. So looking good so far. So I'm out here in my garden. You can see where the potatoes were. So dug those all up here the other day. I do still have the sweet potatoes growing. So those are looking pretty good. I've got some flowers coming in for that too, which is a good sign. But nothing visible yet to pull. And then the parsley still in there also. We'll be taking some of that. My cucumbers over here. So the front one took a hit from some hail, I believe. So it's actually why I have the netting up here, is to try to protect it. But of course, I think some hail damage got this one here in the front. My one in the back is still really healthy though, and producing cucumbers. So I'll probably come in here and clean up this one. Just kind of waiting to see if any of these do firm up. If they don't, then we'll take out the one that's going, and then that way we'll have still the one in the back still producing. Down here, my carrots are actually looking kind of good. I have the head of a carrot there. Don't know yet how far deep down they are, but really excited to have some carrots coming in. So my cherry tomato is interesting because it thinks it's fall. It actually got a lot of water. We've had a deluge of water here, so it's over water just because of what's been happening with nature, and then the temperatures that we've had. So it's starting to wither, and yet all of my cherry tomatoes are still coming in nicely. So I'm going to keep it going as long as it's producing cherry tomatoes. I also have a Roma tomato that has started to turn. So yay, Roma tomatoes I love because I can them, and then we make like sauces out of them. See over here, the basil is what I picked earlier. And then when I look down here, my red onions, this one's starting to look like it's going to be a decent size. So hopefully that can grow a little bit longer. My zucchini is taking over. I kind of just pulled it forward so that way it was trying to cover up the red onion. So I pulled it this way to have it come this way and try not to bother that. The Z pumpkin. I had to get another ladder to put over here and drape it this way. But if we come over here, you can see I have a really decent pumpkin size here. I also got one back here. That's looking really healthy. For size comparison, there's my hand. So, got a couple good sized pumpkins out of here. I like the pumpkins because I can feed it to my dogs. So we'll make some jack-o'-lanterns out of the shell of it, but I'm going to take the pumpkins and actually give it to the boys. And then got a couple acorn squash still coming in. So, doing okay even though the pumpkin has tried to push it out of its territory. It's fighting for its place. And then come over here. I let my lettuce go a little bit too long, but I've got eggplant showing. So those are actually, there's some flowers and soon to be gourds here for the eggplant. Oh, there's another one right there. So that's looking really good. And then my green beans, you can see, I pulled the one that's inside. I've got a few more that are coming in. I also have some little baby ones. Oh, they're so cute. So we're gonna have more green beans coming in here soon too. And then my corn. Corn's doing okay. Still got a little bit of growing to do. I actually might be able to pull a couple of them soon. So this one's actually the right size, starting to dry out a little bit. So I'm gonna pull a couple of those soon. And then we finally got around to reseeding our lawn. So I kept talking about how I had everything over here. I have even more over here now. So I'm going to take a long shot of the garden here. She's doing all right. She's producing, which is what I wanted. Hopefully she can give us a little bit more before the end of this year. This was Amanda, the Urban Farmer. I'll talk to you later.